Welcome back, it's your boy Fresh, and this is 0 to Z, episode 8.
Daddy, say Princess Peach! Most of that! Say Princess Peach again! We're in the green! Daddy, say Princess Peach again and again and again and again! Wait a minute! Daddy, say Princess... I don't know. Made it!
So, what'd you play?
Nothing. I couldn't make up my mind. You want to just fool around instead?
Sure. How do you want me?
It's where we play through our entire board game collection and figure out which games have earned their spot and which games gotta hit the road. Mary's flight home from Paradise happened to be delayed. Smash that like button if you think she's full of shit. So it's just me once again. So let's dive right in. Up first, we had to go back in time because I picked up a game that we would have already crossed in the alphabetical order because it starts with punctuation. It's DotHack GU. So this, their last recode. So this is a collection of Rebirth, Remnants, Redemption, and what's the fourth one? Reconnection. So this DotHack series is one I've heard a lot about but haven't played a lot of. So basically you play a character in a MMORPG, which is a video game on another video game. It's sort of like the Inception video games. I played around with this one a little bit. It was very story heavy, so I didn't get a ton into it. It doesn't have turn-based combat. It's got more of that Zelda style, but so far so good. It looks really nice. Pretty crazy interesting storyline, one I haven't kind of seen before, so that one will stick around in our collection. Up next, I will do these three all together. You know these, you love these. BioShock, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite. I did rent the first BioShock game a while back. I think the series progressively gets worse. It gets less scary, whereas the first one's kind of really leaning into that horror vibe, whereas by the time you get to Infinite, I didn't see any scares at all. But post-apocalyptic game. The third one is a prequel where instead of in the sea, you were in the sky. First-person shooter with magic involved. Really, really awesome. Okay, so I'm going to butcher this name. It's Sailor Moon, Another Story. Not the best title. But in my app, it uses the person's name who did the translation. So this was a Famicom exclusive that some people got together and brought this over. So this is a repro. It's Bishoju Sensei. I definitely messed that up. But you know, you came here for handsome men and video games. You didn't come here for accurate names pronunciation. So this is a turn-based RPG. The translation patch has already been installed, which is great for me. I can see Grace getting into the Sailor Moon series. If you have an IP that you want Grace to get into, you need to have the main character be a female. She needs to be beautiful and a badass. So Elsa meets that, Wonder Woman meets that, and I think Sailor Moon will meet that too when she gets a little bit older. Because even though Sailor Moon is supposed to be in junior high, it's a little risque for a 5-year-old. But I played this. I don't know a whole lot about the Sailor Moon lore, but the game in of itself still held up its own. I love JRPGs, so that one will stick around. Up next, we got Black. So this is a first-person shooter, and I think the problem with this game is I played BioShock right before I played Black. So Black was pretty uninspiring and uncaptivating compared to it. It's sort of just your run-of-the-mill fighting terrorists. It's real world. There's some destructive environmental stuff, but for the most part, nothing about it really stuck out. So I think that one is going to fade to black and out of my collection. Up next, Black Thorn. Have you ever played Prince of Persia and thought, this dude really needs a shotgun? Black Thorn. This is Prince of Persia with a shotgun. It also has a duck and cover mechanic, even though you're not, I guess you're not ducking. But you can hide up against the wall. You like press up against the wall, so you hold up. And the enemies will do that as well. So there's this, pop in, pop out kind of mechanism there. All of the movement is very slow. The artwork was done by Jim Lee, which is awesome. I love the Image Comics and his X-Men run from back in those days. I thought I wouldn't like this game, but it has a certain charm, a certain 90s over the top. He's wearing sunglasses in a cave, walking around in a cut-off shirt, shooting a shotgun. It's pretty tough. It's got that Prince of Persia difficulty where if you fall off a tall ledge, you're dead. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Lots of traps, lots of going back and forth, lots of puzzle solving, and that interesting sort of cover fire mechanic. I think this one is done enough to earn its spot. This next game might be the worst video game I've ever played. It says it's better with Kinect. I do not have Kinect. Blackwater. So I think this is supposed to be a light gun game on the Xbox, and it uses the Kinect for you to dip in and out of cover, whereas I'm playing it with a controller. The dialogue, the graphics, everything is awful. I'm going to drown this in a tub of water and get it the fuck out of my collection. That was decrepit. Up next, this one's going to get a little asterisk. Black Wind for the PS5. So I played this and I really, really enjoyed it. It's a mech game, hack and slash, shoot 'em up style, overhead camera look kind of thing. Some aliens shoot down your ship. Your father locks you in this mech and shoots you down to the planet. And you got to find your father, figure out if he's alive and why these people are attacking you. It was awesome. But I came across this door and got stuck in the door. I could not, didn't matter what button combination I hit, I could not get out. So it was a glitch in the game. I'm not sure how many of those are spread throughout. If I just, 1 in a million chance got stuck in the store, I'm gonna have to delete that file because I tried to shut off the PlayStation 5 and open it back up, and it keeps opening me at that same spot, stuck in this door. So I'm hoping that was just, 1 in a million shot, and I'll pop this in again and it'll be great. But if those issues continue to prop up, I'll have to get rid of it. Up next, Blades of Steel. So this is an early hockey game, and quite frankly, one of the better hockey games. It's a little more arcadey. They're not super tight on the rules, the icing rules, offsides rules. Sometimes, I watch a little hockey. I don't know all the idiosyncrasies to it, but it's fun. It was a fun game. I really enjoyed it. The goalkeeping can be a little wishy-washy. It's kind of got this arrow thing going back and forth, and the goalie's trying to, stay on top of the arrow. So when the arrow is away from the goalie, if you shoot then, you can get it in. It gets a little high scoring. I think the first quarter, me and the computer both had 4 points, which is a lot for a hockey game. But it was fun, and I need a hockey game of that generation, so I think that'll be the one I go with. Up next, Blaster Master. And I also have Blaster Master 2 on the Genesis. Oh man, this was a 50-50 ball going down the third base line. When I first popped them in, these games are tough. Very, very tough. I like the NES one better. The Genesis one is extra, extra, extra tough. Drips of water hurt your tank. Let that sink in for a minute. Drips of water hurt a tank. Yeah, they did that. Now, in the first game, you could literally submerge the entire tank underwater and need to get to other sections of this map. So this is kind of a Metroidvania style game in which you need upgrades to your tank to make it to different spots on the board. You can hop in and out of your tank, which I think is what saves this game for me. If it was just the tank can jump, by the way. That's kind of crazy. Now it has some platforming elements, and with it being a vehicle, there's some roll when you stick the landing, and some of these platforms are pretty tight. The Genesis one, there's just shit flying everywhere. There's a whole bunch of villains and the stupid water drops, and just, it is chaotic. I think I like the NES one better. I know I like the NES one better. I don't think I want to separate the pair though. So I do think I'll keep both of them. Maybe eventually the NES one will get its hooks in me deep enough that I will eventually try the Genesis one. I may eventually decide, screw the Genesis one, I'll just play the NES one. But for now, we'll keep them. I think the internet likes them more than I do. Up next, we got Blazing Angels 2 for the PS3. So this is a flight simulator game in which you are playing through World War II, secret missions. I hate flight simulator games. I don't know how this ended up in my collection. I suspect Mary, because there's a Goodwill sticker on it. I suspect Mary bought this at Goodwill, which is fine. I don't mind, taking a chance on a game. Flight sims are just not for me. I do love shoot 'em ups, so she might have thought it was a shoot 'em up instead of flight sim. For all I know, there's nothing wrong with this game. It's a great game if you like flight sims. I do not. So the Angels will take this one away from my collection. Up next, we got Bleach Shattered Blade for the Wii. Bleach is an anime I know nothing about. It looks good. The game looks good, and then you play it on the Wii, in which, you know, you got your nunchuck and your Wiimote, and you're just slashing. This one slashes, this one lifts up your spirit meter, so it just looks like you're jerking off two cocks at once, you know, what you do on Tuesdays. I don't like fighting games, and I especially hate the Wiimote movement on games when it's heavy. I mean, I don't mind it every once in a while, you know, throw up the nunchuck, do a special move, but this was literally the whole time. No thank you. I'm going to Bleach this game from my collection. Up next, we got Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Now, this game reminded me a lot of early computer RPG games, so like your original Diablo, that sort of really slow moving dungeon crawling style of game. You can transform into a bat, into a wolf. You can pick up different weapons. There's lots of puzzle solving. The combat it's pretty slow and monotonous. You know, you can't dodge, so you're just going to stand there and swing and hope that you hit them more than they hit you. The nice thing about this is you can drink their blood to regain life. Basically, practically every guy you kill, so life's not really that big of an issue. There's a whole bunch of people chained up against all these dungeon walls. You just walk by and drink their blood. This one, I think it's very different. You don't get this style of game anymore. Some people would say for the better. I would probably be one of those. But I do like a couple in my collection, a couple different style of RPGs. So I'm going to keep this one around. I need to get a better case for it. It's got a little jewel case. But that one will stick around. And the last game, which is the most valuable game in our collection, Blood Will Tell for the PS2. It's complete. I think it's a little low. At the time of recording, I think it's a little over $400. This is a game in which your father makes a deal with 48 evil demons to grant him supreme power, but they take pieces of his son's body. You are that son. You get picked up by a doctor. He basically makes you sort of like a puppet body in place, and then you decide to go out and kill these demons and get your body parts back. It's like the game first starts off, he's got this super raspy voice, and it's black and white, and the game even has a little prompt like, it's supposed to be black and white, your PlayStation 2 is not broken. And I think you defeat the first demon, you get your voice back, so he sounds like a regular person. Then you defeat the second villain, you get your left eye, so now you can see the world in color again. It's a really crazy story. I assume you're gonna have to fight 48 demons and get all your body parts back. There's other more impactful things, like you start to get parts of your digestive system, which means if you heal with food, you'll get better results. Each body part you unlock, you'll get a new ability or better attributes or something. Really, really crazy story. Super fun. It's really hack and slash. It does have a little kid character. Lots of PlayStation 2 games did this, where you'll have to start playing as this little kid to get into tight spaces where the main guy can't go. And it's okay. She's not completely worthless like some other games, but I wish there was less of that and more just focusing on the primary story and the primary character, because he's a badass. He's like a walking blender. Super, super awesome. I don't think it's worth its value. I did not pay that much for this game, and I wouldn't pay that much for this game. But since I have it, I'm going to keep it and enjoy it. There you go. You know, with Mary being gone, I've had a lot more time to play video games. You can only really watch so much Pornhub before you just get bored. Go ahead, share this video around if you think these women are just keeping us away from our video games with their incredible beauty on purpose. Might be a conspiracy theory. I'm going to have to check into that. Let me know down in the comments section if I kept the right games and got rid of the right games. Let me know what you think about the Blaster Master series. I was real torn on that. I might just suck. Or the games might be really hard. Or maybe a little bit of both. Let me know down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.